after the scene dies.
Living in Athens, you know, which I moved there because of the music scene. I didn't go to college there. I moved there because, you know, bands were there and musicians were there and clubs were there. There was a place to play.
The Athens scene is supportive of one another, the different factions, the jam bands, the punk rockers. It's unusual in that it does seem that everybody supports everybody else pretty well.
The town has been behind us, and you know they're supportive of each other. You know, everybody kind of supports each other's projects. But you know, I don't. If we hadn't had something like that for a little springboard, I don't think we could have done it.
And that song, After the Scene Dies, it means a lot to me and probably to everyone who hears it, who lives in Athens, just because we know how precious that kind of thing is.
I'll still be doing what pleases me. After the scene dies, the bartender passes and the owner cashes out. And they box up the glasses and they take the sound system down.
It's not so much even specific venues that are gone. I mean, obviously, you know, there's a long list of classic venues and not so classic, I guess, venues that come and go. You know, we started playing Austin around the time that Liberty Lunch closed and around the time of the original .com boom, and all of a sudden real estate just went sky high there, and a lot of clubs started losing their leases because they wanted to develop the building they were in or the block they were on.
As you go out, you know, there are more and more corporate-owned venues, which they almost kind of have to be now. It's not a money-making thing. Most people who operate a privately owned venue, it's a labor of love. And that's about all they're getting out of it.
Ironically, shortly after we recorded that song, we lost the Georgia Theater in a fire. And you know, that's a huge loss for our community and our downtown and our music scene and everything else. You know, 40 Watt's there, and they're you know, I love the 40 Watt. I probably wrote it I'd probably gone to a couple of shows in a row that were poorly attended, you know, or you know, one of those great nights on a Monday night where you're seeing something unbelievable on stage and you look around and there's 20 people in the room. And you think, God, you know, if we don't support this, we could lose this. And you know, it's kind of like a call to arms not to take it for granted. And it means a lot more than just that, but that's part of it. That's the literal, you know, thing in it.